Hi friends, my name is Haley Comet and welcome to my little cosmic corner of the internet. We are continuing on in my self-soothing series, say that 10 times fast, diving into the sign of Taurus if it shows up in your moon sign in your birth chart. So when we talk about self-care, we are talking about the moon. It is the celestial body that governs our emotional, our private world, as well as describes the mothering or nurturing that we received from a mother, a maternal figure, as well as the nurturing we gave to ourselves when we were young, how we learn to self-soothe. And understanding our moon sign is understanding our deepest instinctual needs for stability, for safety, what makes us feel safe, what makes us feel nurtured, supported. So diving into your moon sign is such a huge kind of almost cheat code in understanding how to navigate your emotional world and what you can give yourself if you find that you're going through, a lot of change in life or something disruptive, knowing that you can kind of unlock that self-care and really give yourself what you want, because we don't all have the same language. Some people self-care is going to the mall and spending thousands of dollars, and some people's self-care is just giving themselves an afternoon off to read a book, and it really changes by the sign. So talking about you, Taurus Moon, about where you kind of fall on that on that ratio. So know that your moon sign is exalted. Yes. We love exalted planets, or rather, moon is a celestial body, we shall say. So exalted means that it's a favorite position for that celestial body or planet to be in. So moon and Taurus are like best friends. So if you have it in your birth chart, your moon, unless it's being hit by some challenging aspects, is governing and working as it should be, and actually at its peak expression. And I'll talk about why that is, why the connection is so healthy. If we think about the quality of Earth, so Earth in astrology, it rules our physical body, it rules being kind of logical about things, accepting life as it is, working with the physical world. And the moon, in addition to self-care, it also rules our relationship with food. I mean, it rules a lot of things, but it rules our relationship with food. And Earth rules anything grounded, physical like that, like food, exercise, our bodies, etc. So there's already this connection because Taurus rules food and the moon rules food, how we nurture ourselves. So there's that connection. And then we dive into the other earth signs. So if you think about Virgo and Capricorn, they will work themselves to the ground. All earth signs are hard workers, but Virgo and Capricorn have very, very high standards, and they oftentimes cannot distinguish when to stop. And Taurus, that is different, because Taurus is also the sign of resting, of sleep. There's a very healthy connection to the body and what the body needs. So Taurus will work hard, but they'll also ensure that they get 8 hours of sleep, that they are making their green smoothies in the morning, that they are saying no to that, that meeting that is beyond their job description, or saying no to that extra client on the weekends. They have a very healthy understanding of their limits and what it takes to be successful, which means taking care of your physical body and your needs. So there's a really almost healthy connection here. Taurus moons have a beautiful relationship with food, so long as it's not being hit by challenging aspects, as I said. Taurus moons understand food. They might be intuitively gifted with the art of cooking, the art of creating beautiful meals. They could be really understanding of what it is that their body needs. They could be really dialed into a particular way of eating. So they might be like vegan, or realize that they feel better when they're gluten-free. One little tidbit that I would offer to all of your Taurus moon is really explore your relationship to food. When it's operating at its best, it's a very healthy, collaborating influence. It's a creative outlet. It is a chance to connect with people. It is a chance to give sustenance to your body. It's an opportunity to fuel your work. Obviously, with anything can get out of balance, but I would just implore you, when you're eating, truly eat, taste each of the spices, really be with it, because that is a self-care key that you can give, is being present and being grounded in your body. And food is just one facet of that, which I wanted to touch on, as so many Taurus moons are such like delicious cooks, or just have really like lovely, adorable obsessions with food. I think it's really sweet. I know a Taurus moon, and she wakes up and she's already thinking about what to make for dinner. Like, it's just her creative outlet. She's so excited. That's her favorite time of her day, to spend time with people that she loves and cook a nice meal. So beginning to connect that. And it's beyond just the actual act of, well, I like cheeseburgers. It's the time that you took in preparing the food. It's what it represents, gathering around the dinner table. I promise I will stop talking about food, Taurus moons, but I will say you all have very refined palates and can be very particular, get kind of grumpy if your food wasn't quite right, or if you got something at a restaurant that didn't quite suit what you were craving at the time. So really understanding your relationship with food and finding something that works for you. It's not one size fits all. Taurus has a very nearly possessive approach sometimes. They are very connected to the physical world, and they can mistake everything as possessions. And that might sound strange, but basically every sign has a different kind of realm of life that they're attempting to master. So with Aries moons, it was, mastering self, mastering independence. With Taurus, it's mastering possessions, the physical world, the monetary world. So Taurus moons can mistake people as possessions. They're very, very highly individuals, because as a Taurus moon, loyalty really resonates deeply within their core, and that is a tenet that they'll always stand for. If one of their friends doesn't like someone, they will absolutely be like, well, I don't like them either, because Taurus moon sees the people in their life nearly as an extension of them. And that does not sound as, I hope that doesn't sound as horrible. It's not that they are selfish, it's just something that they're understanding. They're understanding self and how self relates with people and possessions. So there is a tendency for Taurus moons to be like, oh, well, this person is mine, or get a little possessive. Just something to note. Taurus are very, very grounded, loyal individuals, and that is something that is important for you to nurture. So nurture your own loyalties, nurture your close kind of set of friends is super essential, because that's a beautiful aspect of yourself. Something else to nurture is your relationship to the material world. As I touched on earlier, Taurus is an earth sign, and Taurus's ruler is Venus. So we've got Earth, which rules the physical world, and we have Venus, which rules art and beauty and everything lovely about life. The connection is that Taurus moons want their daily environment to be beautiful, their physical daily environment. And that is something that you can give to yourself within reason, Taurus moons. It is a deep need that you need the world to be beautiful. So allowing your apartment to be beautiful, giving yourself permission to invest in pieces that you look at and you feel inspired and you feel uplifted. You are instinctually connected to what is kind of beautiful and visual around you. And it's really giving to all the senses. When I was talking about food, and now you're giving to your eyes. So give yourself pretty things to think or to look at, Marie Kondo, your apartment, and does it spark joy? Does it make my Taurus moon happy, where I just remember how beautiful this world can live in? If you're also living in somewhere that you're not really visually inspired by, Taurus as an earth sign is very connected to the planet and to beauty. So allowing yourself to be inspired and uplifted by your daily environment. Taurus is a very hard working sign. So typically their kind of motive for working so hard is that they want to afford the delicious food that they want to make, and the delicious wine they want to drink, and the beautiful places that they want to see and to create for themselves in their home. So I've noticed a Taurus moon out of balance will spend and spend and spend just on things, because there is kind of a connection between money and moon of emotional spending. So also something else to bring into balance. Out of balance, it'll be that overspending without truly investing in things that will be around. So, Taurus moon is very bougie. So allowing yourself to create some boundaries. Like, okay, I can go out to eat this many times a week. I can invest in this art piece. Really invest in things that are going to make your daily reality more beautiful and more aesthetically pleasing and more sensually indulgent, Taurus moons. And be mindful, like if you're paying, Taurus moons, they work so hard, but there's also this sense of wanting to rest. So, you could find yourself overpaying on things like Postmates or delivery, just getting everything delivered all the time because you want to like stay in bed and rest, and that's beautiful that you have that healthy connection. But every time that you kind of pay that extra, it takes away from investments that you can make that could really indulge your entire reality. So like investing in that beautiful spice rack, or investing in that amazing piece of art rather than allowing like nickels and dollars to kind of move away. And if you are kind of someone who is struggling with money as a Taurus moon, Taurus is a sign that's understanding how to make money and to use it. So definitely dive into this journey of creating value in this world. I mean, aren't we all diving into this journey of creating value in this world? But particularly with Taurus moons, if you're just noticing, gosh, I never have enough money, I can never spend how I want to, allowing yourself to motivate, like use your beautiful eye, your taste for art and fine dining to motivate you. This is something that you're meant to learn, Taurus moon. And though you have such a beautiful refined palette, you might feel tempted to, allow someone else to support you. But Taurus is understanding how self can work and get things done and move steadily in the direction of their goals. So just something else to note about self-care is that Taurus moons do kind of need this element of stability, and it does kind of bring their propensity to spend quite a bit, or propensity to overeat back into balance if they learn kind of the balance between work and play. So if you're kind of living a life where you don't feel like you're building anything meaningful, that's one way that it can get out of balance. So allowing yourself to work towards what you want to build, what you want to invest in, what you want to accumulate, and really making sure your purchases are truly nourishing of your soul. Because when Taurus moon's out of balance, they just love to swipe or to feel that rush. And it can also go the other way because Taurus moon has this connection with money. You're meant to kind of master money and understand money, Taurus moons. So it could go out of balance where they feel like money is their self-worth and then they don't want to spend anything. But Taurus moon, you are understanding how to live in a beautiful world, work for that beautiful world that you want to live in, and kind of live in that space. So emotionally, it's a very grounded energy. When we think about earth signs, it is what it is. So Taurus, you deal with emotions. They bubble up at a very kind of healthy, steady pace. You're not quick. You're very slow to anger. Once you're angry, you will definitely get there, but you'd look more so for your Mars for that. But looking at your emotional responses and your moon, it's like just grounded and patient dealing with what the issue is. So if you're trying to work it away or avoid it away, Taurus moon, like kind of a key is looking at the situation head on and seeing it for what it is, dealing with it for what it is, and finding healthy ways to work with it. You can't spend it away. You can't eat it away. You've got to look at it, deal with it head on. I would say also maybe transmute it into art. You do have a Venus ruled moon, so there could be a really beautiful connection between your emotional world and how you turn that into art. Maybe like you paint your own paintings for your home. That would be an amazing thing for you. Or perhaps you take photos and that kind of helps you transmute it. Deal with the emotion as it comes up. See if you can transmute it into something beautiful. There is a ability to kind of provide groundedness for other people. You're a very cozy person to be around. So you have a sense of yourself that's very nurturing. It's an exalted moon, so it's able to nurture itself and it's able to nurture other people. So you're the friend who is the ear to listen to, gives them a blanket. But what's different between you and let's say a water moon is that you'll listen, but you'll give to-dos. Well, you've got to do this and you've got to do this. You'll be that nurturer. You'll, eat a pizza, drink some wine with them, and then say, this is how we can get you out of this situation, because you are here to kind of be motivating in a sense. For you don't like to stay in those low places, so you don't really allow your friends to do so either. So allowing yourself to lovingly kind of cattle prod your friends into the direction of what would be most well suited to remedying their situation. Let's dive in a little bit to your childhood as it is related to your moon. So as a child, you likely learned to self-soothe via perhaps exercise, connecting with your body that way. Maybe you were really into nature and you like to just go out and be amongst nature. Maybe you just slept, like whenever you were like emotionally overwhelmed, you would just go to sleep. Either way, you kind of intuited the feeling that the physical world is the key out of your emotions. So like if your emotions are overwhelming you, by grounding down in your physical body, whether through exercise, whether through food, whether through sleeping, or through spending time with the tree, was the key out of your emotions. You could have, maybe your mom or maternal figure could have been someone who gave you, could have given you a lot of nurturing, like a lot of hugs, very tactile. So kind of when you get older, Taurus Moon, I forgot to mention this, but self-care is definitely cuddling. So maybe have a weighted blanket if you don't have a lover, or just make sure that you have really conscious time with your lover of touching and holding and all of that. So in childhood, could have like, tactile family, very huggy, or it could have been someone who was willing to spend a lot on you, very generous, etc. Were kind of lessons that you got in childhood was the physical world will fix things. Emotions do not make sense. It's an earth sign, so it's always trying to make sense, trying to rationalize, trying to understand, trying to see it for what itself. That physical world is out. So give yourself, if you find that your emotions are overwhelming and it's hard to cope, give yourself sensual experiences is the key out of your emotions even now. So allowing yourself, if you're upset, you have my full permission to take a bubble bath, to do some yoga. Your physical body will ground your emotions and kind of absorb them for you. See it for what it is, ground it down, send it love, and send away by grounding down. Cook, dance, take a bubble bath, be bougie. Buy something nice that you look at. Living in a beautiful world kind of allows you that to get out of really emotionally devastating or a lot of change in your life. So like if you just moved, make sure when you get there, you have a healthy exercise routine that helps you connect with your body. It's not about getting fit, it's about connecting with your body. 5 senses. You got it, that Taurus moons? Okay, friends, Gemini moon is next week. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'd love to have you around for more cosmic content from my corner. What else do you want to see from me? I would love to know if you could comment below, or if you're a Taurus moon or know someone who's Taurus moon, I'd love to hear other things that you've noticed that you give to yourself, or that person gives to them, or you give to that person, that help with this self-soothing. I hope you all have such a beautiful week. Take care of yourselves, take care of your moon sign, whatever that is, and we shall meet again. Take care.